When a plane takes off, its every move is tracked. Radar logs its position. Pilots report to controllers. Black boxes record every sound in the cockpit. In today's world of satellites and surveillance, the skies should hold no mysteries. And yet, again and again, entire aircraft have vanished into nothing. Squadrons disappearing without a trace. Passenger planes erased mid-flight. Military jets lost in ways that defy logic. In every case, the same haunting question lingers. How does a machine of steel, fuel, and fire simply vanish into thin air? Tonight, we descend into 10 disappearing flights, military aviation's darkest mystery. Some were lost to storms, some to war, and some, perhaps, to something far more terrifying. Strap in, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at the skies forever. Number 1. Flight 19, the Bermuda Triangle's first victims, 1945. December 5th, 1945. 5 U.S. Navy Avengers lifted off from Florida on a training mission. Their route was simple. Their weather was calm. The men were experienced. But as the hours ticked by, their radio transmissions grew panicked. Compasses spun wildly. Landmarks vanished. "We can't find west," one pilot radioed. Another added, "Everything looks strange, even the ocean." For hours, the planes circled aimlessly until the radios fell silent. The Navy launched a massive search operation. 300 aircraft, 13 ships, scouring the seas. They found nothing. Not a wing. Not a body. Even stranger, a rescue plane sent to find them also exploded mid-air, killing 13 crew members. Was it mechanical failure? Disorientation? Or did Flight 19 fall victim to something far more sinister, the so-called Bermuda Triangle? To this day, no wreckage has been found. 5 planes, 14 men. Gone. Number 2. The Star Tiger. A plane that never arrived, 1948. 3 years later, the Atlantic claimed another victim. On January 30th, 1948, the British South American Airways Star Tiger left the Azores, bound for Bermuda. 31 souls on board. The last radio transmission was calm. ETA, 5:00 a.m. Then silence. No SOS. No distress call. The plane simply never arrived. Search parties combed the seas for days. No debris. No oil slick. No explanation. Experts suggested the plane may have run out of fuel or flown too low, but critics point out skilled pilots, experienced crew, and clear skies should not have ended in complete erasure. The Star Tiger's disappearance added fuel to the legend of a cursed zone in the Atlantic, a graveyard of ships and planes. Number 3. MH370, the vanishing modern jet, 2014. In the 21st century, with satellites covering every inch of Earth, it should be impossible for a modern airliner to vanish. And yet, on March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 did just that. The Boeing 777 left Kuala Lumpur for Beijing. Then, silence. Civilian radar lost it. Military radar detected bizarre maneuvers. The plane veered sharply, crossing back over Malaysia before heading into the vast emptiness of the Indian Ocean. For weeks, the world watched in shock. Dozens of countries joined the search. Billions of dollars were spent. The largest investigation in aviation history yielded only a handful of broken pieces, washed up on beaches thousands of miles away. Theories range from pilot suicide to hijacking, from explosive decompression to military shootdown. Some even whisper it was deliberately erased, diverted to a secret location like Diego Garcia. The truth remains hidden, sealed beneath the Indian Ocean. A modern jet, 239 people, erased as though they never existed. Number 4. USS Cyclops, a warship swallowed by the sea, 1918. March 1918. The U.S. Navy's USS Cyclops, a colossal ship carrying 10,000 tons of manganese ore, sailed from Barbados toward Baltimore. On board were over 300 crew. The ship's last transmission, weather fair. All well. Hours later, it vanished. No SOS. No survivors. Despite extensive searches, no wreckage was ever found. Some historians believe the ship may have been sabotaged by German spies during World War I. Others blame the Bermuda Triangle. But the chilling fact remains, the Cyclops is the single largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. naval history. And unlike most mysteries, this one left no clues at all. It simply vanished. Number 5. Cold War recon flights. Vanishing in enemy skies, 1950s-60s. The Cold War was a time of shadows, secrets, and silent battles. Spy planes crossed hostile borders daily. Some never returned. In 1956, a U.S. RB-29 reconnaissance aircraft disappeared over the Arctic, last seen trailing smoke. No wreckage was ever recovered. In 1958, a C-118 transport plane carrying 16 men vanished over the Atlantic during a military mission. Not even an oil slick was found. Official explanations ranged from crash to bad weather, but many families never believed it. Classified documents hinted at Soviet shoot-downs, secret captures, or covert missions gone wrong. These were not just disappearances. They were erasures, planes wiped from history, because the truth could have started a war. Number 6. Glenn Miller's last flight, 1944, December 15, 1944. Glenn Miller, America's beloved jazz musician, boarded a small military plane in England, bound for Paris to entertain the troops. The weather was cold, but not dangerous. The flight was routine. Then, Miller's plane was gone. No wreckage, no remains. Theories multiplied. Some claimed his plane was hit by bombs jettisoned by Allied aircraft. Others suggested engine failure. Still others whispered of secret missions, that Miller was on a clandestine assignment gone fatally wrong. The disappearance shocked the world. Glenn Miller was not just a man. He was a symbol of hope, and his sudden erasure became one of the darkest mysteries of World War II. Number 7. The Mirage fighter that vanished 1970s. In the mid-1970s, during the height of Cold War tensions, a French Dassault Mirage 5E bomber lifted off for a training exercise. Minutes later, it was gone. No radio call, no distress signal, no wreckage. The French Air Force declared it an accident, then classified the files. Rumors soon swirled. Some believed the jet was carrying nuclear material. Others suggested the pilot defected, flying straight into Soviet territory with secrets too valuable to lose. Whatever the truth, the Mirage never returned, and its disappearance remains one of France's most closely guarded aviation secrets. Number 8. The Globemaster lost in Alaska 1950s. November 1950. A U.S. Air Force C-124 Globemaster II, carrying 52 servicemen, vanished while flying from Alaska toward Montana. Radar tracked it over the rugged mountains, then nothing. Days later, search teams spotted wreckage, but before recovery teams could reach it, an avalanche buried the site. The wreck was swallowed by ice. Decades later, small fragments were rediscovered by melting glaciers. But the bulk of the plane, and the bodies of 52 men, remain frozen in Alaska's mountains, entombed in silence. It is one of the most haunting military graves in the world. Number 9. The Soviet Tu-14 incident 1960s. In the 1960s, a Soviet Tupolev Tu-104 jetliner vanished under circumstances so strange, the truth may never be known. Official reports described a crash, but rumors spread that the jet was carrying nuclear cargo, perhaps even weapons. Witnesses claimed soldiers sealed off the crash site immediately. Some whispered of radiation burns among recovery crews. The Soviet Union was notorious for secrecy. Disappearances were rewritten into official accidents. The Tu-114's fate may never be known, but the fact that even whispers of nuclear material persist suggests something darker was covered up. Number 10. The vanished B-47 with nuclear weapons 1956. March 1956. A U.S. B-47 Stratojet bomber departed Florida, carrying 2 nuclear cores, materials essential for atomic bombs. The mission was simple: fly to Morocco. Midway, during a refueling maneuver, the bomber reported in, then vanished. No explosion. No distress call. No radar trace. Searches scoured the Mediterranean. Nothing was ever found. To this day, the nuclear material has never been recovered. The U.S. quietly called it a training accident. But the terrifying reality? Somewhere, under the sea, lie the radioactive remains of a missing nuclear bomber. The ghost plane of Payne Stewart, 1999. It began as a routine flight. A Learjet carrying 6 people, including legendary golfer Payne Stewart, took off from Orlando. Minutes later, air traffic controllers lost contact. Fighter jets scrambled to intercept. When they caught up, they saw something terrifying. The jet was flying straight and level, but no one inside was moving. The windows were frosted over. The crew and passengers were presumed unconscious, victims of a sudden loss of cabin pressure. For hours, the ghost plane drifted across America, flying on autopilot, crossing entire states in eerie silence. Finally, it ran out of fuel and plummeted into a field in South Dakota. The official story blames a pressurization failure. But questions linger. Why did the jet maintain such a perfect course for so long? Could it have been remotely guided? Or was something else controlling that aircraft in its final, ghostly flight? To this day, pilots still refer to it as one of the most haunting mysteries in modern aviation, the day a jet became a flying tomb, gliding silently across the sky. Planes don't just vanish. Ships don't simply disappear. Not in a world of radar, satellites, and records. And yet, they do. Again and again, leaving behind only silence, empty skies, and grieving families. Some of these disappearances may be explained: storms, mechanical failure, human error. But others, remain locked away in classified files, sealed by governments that would rather hide the truth than face it. And still others may have no explanation at all. From banished squadrons to missing nuclear weapons, these stories remind us that the skies above are not always safe. They are vast, unforgiving, and filled with mysteries. So next time you see a plane trace a white line across the sky, remember, not all of them make it home. If you want to keep digging into the shadows of aviation, war, and secrets the world was never meant to know, then join us. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon, because the next story we uncover may be the one that changes everything you thought you knew about our world.